Blinky, I'll be your next speaker. Are all of my judges ready? Okay, and my timer? Okay, let's begin. Do you ever ask yourself, what could have happened if you had taken that one chance? Our life is a series of choices, from choosing toys from the store as a child to picking where we want to go to college, or if we want to play a sport as a teenager, to who we'll marry and what job we want as an adult. But what if? Could you have taken a risk that would have changed your life? Today I decided to take a risk by wearing this suit. So no, it wasn't a hand-me-down that I was forced to wear. And for the first time ever, you may have to ponder what you put in the professional appearance box. Whether or not you think it's a good risk is completely up to you. The definition of risk is the potential of losing something of value. Value can include social status, emotional well-being, physical health, financial wealth. As we go through life, God gives us opportunities to take smart risks, which can lead to failure after failure, but have the possibility to lead to success after success. Today I want to excite something inside of you, a desire to take a risk because of the beneficial outcome it could have on your life, on the life of another. Some of the greatest things, inventions, people, historical events have all started with risks. Fired from his newspaper company because he lacked imagination and creativity, you may recognize his name as Walt Disney. And if you ask me, Disneyland is a pretty creative place. Kicked out of his company, only to come back a couple years later and to lead it into a new era of technological devices, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, which produces iMacs, iPads, iWatches, iPhones, probably the iCar pretty soon. Cut from his high school basketball team, this boy went home, closed his door, and cried. Michael Jordan went on to become a basketball legend. Last but not least, rejected from Decca recording studios because they lacked potential in the show business. The Beatles were one of the most influential and famous bands that our world has ever seen. So what am I trying to say? Well, what do all of these people have in common? They decided to take a risk, had confidence in themselves, and changed the world in ways that others around them didn't think possible. Unlike the risks I just mentioned, bad risks exist also. For example, trying to reach the other side of a 4-lane freeway with a blindfold on is a pretty bad risk. Furthermore, trying to walk across a tightrope, multiple stories off the ground, for the first time ever in your entire life, also with a blindfold on, is a bad risk. Pretty much, if it ends with the words, with a blindfold on, you may want to reevaluate that risk 1 or 2 more times. Don't risk a lot with the potential of only gaining a little. Risk should include some logic and reason, because otherwise you'll take careless and detrimental risks at the safety of yourself and also at the safety of others. People influenced not to take risks have grown up in environments teaching risk-taking from this definition or viewpoint: careless and reckless risks. But we can't live in a safety zone our entire life. John A. Sheed says, "A ship is safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are meant for." So what do we learn from risk? How do we benefit from taking risks? Number 1, we're able to learn stuff about the world, we're able to learn stuff about ourselves, and maybe strengths and weaknesses that we never thought we had. If we never step up to the challenge, we might find ourselves in a life that bores us, with no dynamic, no color. Secondly, we're able to overcome our fears by taking risks. Life has no guarantees, and that makes it scary. That is where we learn our confidence and our courage. Third, we can learn from our failures by taking risks. I hate to break it to you, but risks don't always include success. Thomas Edison was in the process of creating the light bulb, and it tried over 9,000 different ways that all failed. A reporter came up to him and asked, "Have you ever felt like a failure?" Thomas Edison responded with, "Why would I feel like a failure? I now know 9,000 different ways that a light bulb doesn't work. Success is nearly in my grasp." 1,000 tries later, Thomas Edison created the light bulb. Fourth and finally, what we can achieve from our race is our goals and our aspirations. Success just doesn't land in our lap. We can't expect to play it safe all the time and to achieve our ambitions. We have to go outside of our comfort zone, step by step, risk by risk, to follow our dreams. Now, you may be sitting there wondering what could have been. What could I have done? Or you could seize the opportunities that still exist and add something to your story of life. Because you'll find, as your story closes, the things that you regret the most are the things that you didn't do. Now, I don't know what risk looks like in your life. And while you don't need to agonize over every single opportunity coming at you, it's the ones that involve risk, the big opportunities that involve risk, that leave you standing in your tracks. And what will you decide? As we talked about good and bad risks, and the risks, how it benefits us and how it plays in our life, you may not see this suit of a good representation of what I'm trying to get across. But I would like to disagree. Because as crazy as I look in this suit, and as crazy as the suit looks as itself, I don't want you to remember me, which would be nice, or the suit necessarily. Which, in case you're wondering, you can buy one at oposuits.com. But the idea behind the suit. Because if I'm able to inspire you, motivate you to take a risk, even with the opportunity of failure that could change your life or someone you know's life, then I'd be willing to do this over and over again. Because the biggest risk we can ever take in our life